Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
My name's Jason DeRoss.
This is as tall as I'll ever be.
Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. So excited to be here.
Happy Big Wednesday. Neon Dreams.
Happy Big Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. God damn it, we're doing it. Jason's in a tie. He says it's not for a surprise, but as we know with Jason, I'm sure it'll be revealed. And
Let's
everyone
just
will
go over, so the 30 seconds leading up to us going live was, also you have a tie-in, so what's the surprise? No surprise. Oh, we'll see. No, there's no surprise. Yeah, okay, we're going live.
Well, I'm just curious if it's not a surprise. Why are you wearing a tie with an Anchor t-shirt?
I put clothes on. I feel like there's nothing. I just was like, great, I'm feeling good today. I'm gonna look good because I realized like it's been over a year, and I just found out that this is like out to the public. So I'm like, oh, maybe I won't just dress in my pajamas and come in and do this.
Okay,
so,
it's so annoying. I actually don't care. But anyways,
it's
Jason,
actually the 100% the truth. So I don't know what else to come.
Wait, you realized a year in that this podcast?
So that's an exaggeration. I didn't realize it's just as a public, but I did feel like I woke up and I was like, why do I just always show up in my like worst of worst? I'll dress up today a bit. That's all it was an attitude shift of like, I'm going to dress up a bit today. And if I did this in an office job, I'm sure I'd walk by everyone's cubicle and every second one would be like, oh, interview today?
Yeah, I mean, it is very interview today. It's also very like, it looks good. It's just like.
Well, that was a question mark at the end of that one.
No, it doesn't look bad. I'm just, when someone's wearing an Anchor shirt and with a crisp lighter blue tie, I can't help but think,
Yep. This came from an inspiration that you gave to me at one point where you're like, just try different things together and see how they go. So like what happened was I jumped on, I put this on and I said to my wife, I'm like, does this even like look together? She goes, well, it looks fun. And I was like, that word's good. But she said it with a question mark too. And I'm like, she didn't like the combo, but I was like, you said fun. I feel good. I'm like,
no, I'm not saying you shouldn't feel good. I'm just saying this is very, this is
stupid
very.
Is the word you're going.
No, I would never say stupid.
Okay.
Listen, we love a pattern. We love a pattern mixy matchy.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Yep. And it's very like it's very science teacher got laid last night.
This is the thing. It's because of my person. Because I'll tell you right now, if Nigel came in this, it'd be like, ooh, fire, Nige. Good going.
No. And that's what we need to talk about with how you perceive and live your life is like everyone else gets to have fun except for me, which is absolutely
That's not what I'm
not
saying
the
at
truth.
all. We've discussed it on the podcast before and you've 100% agreed with me. Nigel can pull off things that I cannot pull off.
No, but the difference is that Nigel has confidence where you walk into a room and go, is this okay?
I feel great.
I'm glad that you feel great. I think that you look great. I just think it's interesting. It's just interesting.
I think Alex hit it the best, probably.
Arguments started early today. Not if you think this is arguments, this is our friendship.
Yeah. The funny thing is as I was setting up for today and I had already had this on.
Yeah.
I knew that this would be the first 5 minutes of our podcast. And I'm not kidding. I was like, we talk about being supportive of people's choices, but really, are we supportive of people's? We're just kind of like.
No, I'm absolutely supportive of your choices. I do think you look great. It's like, when you were in high school and like you would be going, like for me personally, like if we were going to like a play or we were doing something, there'd be some days where I would like try a heel. Like I'd put on a little booty or I'd put on a little heel. And everyone was like, do you have to go somewhere later? Like, what are you doing?
But so you have lots of heels. I've seen them, but they're not normally they're not like club heels.
If I showed up to hang out with you and was wearing high heels, not like a booted heel, but like a high heel, you'd be like, where are you going? Right? So,
yeah. If you showed up in a stiletto, I'd be like, what did you,
exactly.
Are you on drugs? What's happening?
Are you on drugs?
Did you fall into a crack pile? What happened?
So let's balance that out. I've asked you if you have a secret or if something's happening. And if I were to do the same, you would ask me if I was on drugs.
I agree. Although I don't think this is as much a stretch as like, because this is a shirt I would wear daily. So if
Oh,
it, at a ti-
wait.
I would wear this. This is
Wait,
a golf shirt. Like
is
this
it?
is
It's not long sleeve.
you got it.
Uh,
But I would say like you in stilettos changes your walk because like it's a balancing
Stilettos.
act at the same time. So like it's a whole vibe. I know
It's
this
a
is also
whole
a vibe,
vibe.
but like you've
It's a
said it
whole
yourself.
vibe.
You coming at it knows you'd be like, oh man, I'm in stilettos. Like what am I doing? I don't even know if
Jan
stilettos
says-
like a classic thing or what's
Jan
going
says,
on.
I think a solid tie would be great with this shirt or a classic Nigel bow tie. And
Yeah, I just
agree.
didn't own either.
Okay, that's great.
Because I own one and it's black tie, and I was like, when I put the black tie on, it did not go well with this.
Here's the thing.
It has to be.
Here's
a color.
what I
It has
love
to be a
about
purple
it.
color with a shirt.
There's nothing better than waking up and deciding to choose yourself. And that's it. To be like, I'm going to make myself feel good today. And I will reveal myself in that I'm shooting something this weekend. And because of the pandemic or whatever, I have to dress myself for camera. And the thing about me that I don't like is being on camera. And so the career I've chosen is quite a tricky pickle. So
You should do animation. Just write a bunch of animation and voice it.
what I would give to show up. I don't even smoke, but I'd pick up smoking with like with a coffee and was like, what are we doing today? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to choose an outfit. And it was real. I really went through it and I really was snappy for no reason.
I do have to address too. I get like short sleeve dress shirt with a tie is like either you have to be in the Van Weezer on stage or like you just can't pull this off. I can't walk around the city like this. I can't go out in my life like this.
I think you
when
could.
I was coming in was with a cardigan, but then I put the cardigan on last second and it did not go. It was just another pattern on all these patterns. And I was like, well, here I am. That's
well,
where
listen,
I'm at.
I'm wearing a white shirt, and as they say, don't wear white on camera, and they're right. You know,
I look great.
maybe I pop the collar, and it'll be like very Saint-Tropez.
Okay, there we go. Very who?
Very Saint-Tropez.
Okay.
So we're coming in with a vibe today. 8 minutes in, we've really addressed it. I have been watching a lot of Eastbound and Down, so like this is very much the look, Jay.
This is an Eastbound and Down. This would be
like the
I forget who
teachers.
like the yeah. Okay, great. Because didn't he do it?
Short sleeve and a tie is very today is my wife's parole hearing.
So if you're gonna get out, when you do, we are gonna.
I
hit
honestly
the
think you and
town.
I should try one day, like full morning show vibes, and really just
Sure.
yeah.
We should just do morning show. We'll do one episode called Morning Show.
Yeah, we'll do one episode, but we should do it morning hours. Well, it's morning hours for you. It's 9 a.m. But so we'll do a morning show vibe.
I
would love that.
If you want to do it like 9 a.m. your time, 6 a.m. my time,
Would you love that? Would you love like
I would do it.
Would you really?
I'd have the rest of my day clear. You know what I
You'd
mean?
have to get up at like 5:30.
Bingo.
You'd have to kick your son out of his room.
I was out at 5:30 yesterday, out of the house. Good going.
Why?
Feeling good. Just feeling good. I had to get out there and exercise.
Oh, all right. Do you want to tell people what's going on?
No.
Oh my god. So it's actually so annoying and I can't wait for people to know. So Jan just said, "Can I please come on as a pet expert?" And the cat just goes nuts.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Please.
You can do that if your next one up is an owl, and the owl has to also go nuts.
Oh yeah. Well, we can have Burger on as a guest.
Yeah.
Last night something happened where Burger was out, like not free, like my gate was closed, and this man was walking a puppy, and I believe Burger in his older age is going a little foggy in the eyes. So he's a little trepidatious at night, but he hears like a little doop doop doop, like a puppy walking by. And again, Burger is nowhere close to this dog, and Burger is not a violent dog by any means. Burger
That's what
just
they all
like
say. That's what they say on Judge Judy all the time.
well, he's not,
No,
yeah.
he's not. He's friendly. He's friendly. He's a pit bull, and he ripped.
Burger just
there's
like-
2 dogs dead.
Burger just got rigid and was like smelling, and this
Whoa.
dog, but like the dog was nowhere near Burger, and this dog out of nowhere just starts yelping as if it's being attacked. This dog is down the street. Burger has just, and then I was like, Burger, and I was
He
like,
can hear himself. We can hear him shaking now. He's like, what's
I was
going
like, The energy that you give off. Mm-hmm. Oh
it's
my
spring.
God.
He's getting into it.
Sorry, this is so funny. Stephanie goes, check Jason's wrist for bracelets. Do you have one?
No, not at all. She's not talking about. I don't think Stephanie's talking about the look. I think she's moved into like, why did you leave the house at 5
Oh no,
o'clock
she asked if you joined another cult.
Yeah.
The acting bracelets, never forget.
Still love them. Still going back.
What was I going to say? Voodoo Line is saying, haven't seen burger content in a minute. His emotions are the only thing that keeps me afloat. That's true. I took a little detox, but let me tell you, Burger is very much crying, very much all the time. Very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's an old man. He is an old man. Although he met like a little pal, a young child yesterday, him and Vic. They were so gentle and lovely.
Do you get that a lot of people approaching you because they're like, you've got dogs, so people have that thing of like, oh, cool, I'm just going up and start petting your dog?
No, I don't get that. I think it's because of my face and general demeanor. I will say, like, I think when I'm outside, stranger danger is very clear on the look of my face that it's no new friends.
Stranger danger is referenced differently. It's like, I'm the stranger. I'm in danger.
I am a stranger to you, and I am in danger. So, I'm not picking up conversation.
Yeah, it's like when cops go to grade 3 and 4 year old children. They're like, "Hey, we're going to show this presentation of things not to do. Like, don't take candy from a thing. Don't pet this lady's dog." And they put up a picture of Stacey McGonagall walking the dog and be like, "Don't pet this lady's dog."
Like, I mean, I love kids. Like, a lot of people don't think I'm good with kids or like kids, which is neither of those are true.
No, you got your nephew. You hit it off.
I love a child moment. I like when kids pretend and I just get to say, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that game.
That's every minute of every day.
Oh, yeah. But what's really funny is when you see parents that are like, no, like when kids are like, I'm as tall as the sky. It's like, no, you're not, Peter. It's like, let them. Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you hear that, Dad? What are we teaching him? See, baby.
Yeah, well, you're high.
The sky is, if we look up, we can see it. Look me in the eyes. Actually, but this is when, as a parent, you start to question yourself. You're like, well, where does the sky actually start?
No, I don't need to think about that, nor did I.
Where does the sky, I guess maybe my child's right. Trust me, that conversation exactly has not happened. But one's very much close to it where you're like, oh, I got to teach you about this. And then you're like, but wait a second. And then you start to question truths of things or like how to teach things.
And again, I wouldn't say that my parents would win any sort of award, but what I will say they thrived in is lying. And it was up to me to speak their facts publicly to find out maybe a Google or two would be good for me. But they as parents were like, why is the sky blue? Oh, the clouds.
It reflects off the water.
Yeah, it's off the water. It's a reflection of the water. Why not?
Oh, cool. So then the water's can reflect the clouds. So then who's on what side of the mirror, Dad? Oh, fuck. Now I got to go get off this ass.
Wait, Charlie asks you who's on which side of the mirror?
No, but if you were like, oh, it reflects the water, but then they were also like, oh, yeah, but the water reflects the sky. Oh, my God, they're reflecting each other. Ooh, who's the real one? I don't know. I'm just getting into it.
Oh, my God. So what's going by my house currently? Horse cops. Why are they out? No. You know what? They're probably going to the park.
No. This is a dumb fact, but like the reason why police have horses? Have horses? That's right.
It makes me sad.
The reason why they have them is their main purpose is crowd control because they're intimidating and they're up high, and that's why they have them. So then you're like, yeah, but why are they walking them around all the time? Because if they're just there for like protests or big rallies or something like that.
Here's what I want to say. We don't need them. Okay. Horse cops is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, it's like, I'm sure someone could explain to me better, but it's just like, there's other ways. It's like when I see a dog tied up outside of a store. It's like, Vanessa, did you need the chips? You really needed to grab a tomato? Let's let,
But at the same time, because yes, I am on your side 100%, 98%. Because that 2% of me goes, do I really know what a cop goes through in a day? Do I really know, like, who am I to be the judge of like what they do and they do not need? Because I'm like, okay, great. They've done studies and found that horses are a great thing. You're like, great, have them.
No.
But the reason why they're coming by your house is because unlike, a car you fill up with gas or whatever, but a horse is still a living thing. So they have to just take them for rides. So 98% of the time the cop is.
You think, or you're lying to me?
I had to look it up a little. I know this is, it's allegedly, but this is from when Anessa and I wrote that sketch a long time ago about being cops on horses. So I looked it up a little bit to find out what the purpose of because I was curious. I was like, oh, why do they have horses? And that's the reason why they have them. But they also have to like get them out there. So it's like just routine to take them around.
It's just so sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Any hoosies. A quick pivot from that. What?
I feel like we've done a couple pivots. You're like, Jason's getting off on something here. Let's see what else is in the news.
No, it's just interesting. I mean, Burger loves a horse. Mm-hmm. More than the horse, he loves horse shit, which is so fun. But they just, for me, horses, like when they're like pulling a carriage or working for police,
sure,
they look sad in the eyes.
And well, I'll also look at the man riding that carriage. Because think about that. Every day he dresses
riding
up.
The horse.
Yeah, but every day that man's riding the carriage at Central Park dresses up as if he's in 1862 and comes out and goes, great, I'm going to take people out on love.
Who goes on those?
People that are stuck in these fantasies of what love, they think love is. And they're like, we got to live the storybook life, babe.
So
I got to take you out on a carriage. No, I don't actually.
Have you been on one? Have you paid for one?
I've never paid for one. I don't think I've ever been on one.
I've never paid for one, but my wife handsomely tipped the carriage rider. When I see people with the little fur blanket over their little knees and they're going ooey ooey, it's like, no thanks.
Look, I've only seen one season of The Bachelor, 1.5 now, and I would put money on it. There's at least been 10 horse and carriage rides on The Bachelor.
I can't, and I would have been like, no. I would have been like, absolutely not. I'm not doing this.
People still associate that with romance, and I do not understand how that's romantic.
Speaking of some pop culture news in the Bachelor franchise, I would like to bring up a massive story that I was, perusing, and that is that.
And then I'll bring up mine. Yeah, great.
Great. Colton Underwood from The Bachelor has since come out as gay. He did a sit-down interview on ABC with Robin. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Nope, I know her name. Why am I forgetting her last name?
How many seasons ago was Colton? Because that was a while. He was the one that was, wasn't he the loose cannon that was like, I'm just going to run over here. I'm going to do this.
He's the fence jumper. He's 29 and he's just come out and he sat down with Robin Roberts on Good Morning America. And he did that this morning. And so he says that he used to wake up in the morning and pray to God to take the gay away. I used to pray for him to change me. I can now wake up and pray to God and I can actually have faith and go into church and be present, which is amazing. He was called or dubbed the Virgin Bachelor. And he says, one thing about being labeled the Virgin Bachelor is that I fully was a virgin and I could never give anyone a good enough answer as to why I was a virgin. And the truth is I was a Virgin Bachelor because I was gay and I didn't know how to handle it.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So I can show for people who can't remember. Let me see if I can pull up a pic here. So this is...
I think a lot of people that can't remember just also probably didn't watch the season at that point. So it's not going to remind them of who this person is. But
yeah, so he jumped the fence. That's what he was known for. And then him and his, I believe the woman he chose, they had a bit of a tumultuous ending where he was like apparently tracked her car and she had a restraining order against him.
Yes, Jenny just put that in the chat.
He also harassed and stalked his ex-fiancée from the show, and she had a restraining order against him. And I believe that
he must have been battling so many demons though, because if he's got to the point where he's like, no, I have to make this work. We can still respect
people's boundaries.
I'm not saying he was in the right, but I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like how far did he have to convince himself that he was in love with a woman?
He said, I still haven't had an emotional connection with a man. I've never allowed myself to. It's never been in my cards to let myself get there. I want to more than anything. I'm looking for someone who can push me and challenge me in all the right ways. What?
If you guys aren't seeing this on The Bachelor yet, like we got to see this.
What?
Then what? Bring him back. get up 30 men, put him
No,
up. Same sex bachelor. It's happening.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't have a same-sex bachelor. I just feel like his past actions of harassing and stalking his fiance might mean that maybe we give an opportunity to an incredible queer bachelor or bachelorette that, yes. Yeah,
it's fair enough.
That's all I'm saying is, you want to stalk people in the car, maybe some other person.
I'm just saying it because they gave him a voice today. So like, obviously he's still in the public eye and people haven't been like, get out of here. Because
so many people. I'm not saying he's a terrible person. I'm just saying.
We can give a chance to somebody else who hasn't had a restraining order.
To someone else.
For a relationship reason to them. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't arguing against you, but yeah, I do think. Great idea.
Shayla. Yeah, maybe a different gay bachelor.
Yeah, I get it.
What I would give for a queer bachelor. Would love. Yeah. So anyways, he has come out 29.
Yeah. That's pretty late in life to finally be like,
but exciting,
these are the people I want to date, and fuck you for thinking I can't. So, and
exciting for him, and exciting for the road ahead, and it's really great to also so that's the Colton news. I mean, yeah. And Jenny says this: we'll have a gay bachelor before we have a fat/mid-sized bachelor, and we'll have a fat mid-sized bachelor before we have a fat mid-sized bachelorette. And I agree, and that is highly problematic.
I can't wait till next season when they do all of it at once somehow.
I just think it's like it is absolutely it absolutely boggles my mind, and not in a way that's like, can you believe? It's like I can believe, I can believe, but that
here's my piece of Bachelor news, because I didn't mean to cut you off, but like it kind of speaks to that a little bit.
Okay.
I missed the last few episodes of The Bachelor this year. So like a couple nights ago, I was like, who did he pick in the end? He picked the lady from the fucking prom thing, the racist prom. That's who he picked. We never discussed this at all. I was blown away when I saw who won, and I'm like, what the hell's happening here?
There's a lot that's come out, and I wouldn't. We should probably just have Jenny on as our Bachelor expert. Rachel had and that's who Chris Harrison was defending and has since had to step down. But now Rachel has come out, and again, Jenny, please let me know. Rachel has come out that Matt knew and was not bothered that they were still even though he was I could not be associated, that in the darkness away from the cameras, they have still been dating, even though he denounced Rachel. Yeah, so it is pretty wild. I'd have to do more research, but he was like, I can't be with this person, and is still with this person. So
publicly he's like, I can't be with this person, but he's Romeo and Julieting it behind the scenes.
Yes. Allegedly, I don't know. This is stuff.
We're all allegedly. Look, everything on this podcast is allegedly. We will never tell you the truth. We are just parents telling our kids whatever the fuck we want.
That's it.
We're telling our kids whatever we want.
Yeah, so this is it too. They were still dating, but then he was also dating someone else.
Wow. It's just great.
I mean, it's interesting because, why are you really going on The Bachelor? Why would I really go on The Bachelor?
Wasn't he from an influencer house? We know why he's going on The Bachelor.
Yes, he was friends with Tyler Cameron, who was
we know why he's going on The Bachelor. He's not going on The Bachelor to find love.
Exactly. Back when it first originated, it was you didn't know what it could lead to. Not to say that it was genuine by any means. It's been scripted forever. But people aren't really looking to settle down. They're like, "Oh man, I can't wait for my blog to pop off."
Yeah.
So this isn't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, so there's more info with Matt James, which is pretty wild.
And can you tell me what this show is? Are You the One?
Are You the One? I'm not. I don't know much about it, although I know everyone I know who's into reality TV has been raving about Are You the One? Which I believe is are most of the contestants pansexual, which I believe they're pansexual, which I think is incredible, but I could be wrong.
And they're also like, they don't look like necessarily models. Is that what she means when they're doing it all at once? They're just doing like, they're
kind
getting
of, but it's size
and average people or whatever.
Jenny will tell us,
know if that's
and people listening will be
put
like,
it,
it's this. And to that I say, I hear you and thank you so much.
Yeah.
So that's a really great show, but we need more like, we just need to normalize. Yeah, Are You the One had one pansexual season and it was the best, which I bet it would be. I got to go back and watch that because I'm running out of TV shows. We did do an episode. We did a pop culture rundown with Patrick Murray. We used it for our Patreon, and you can check out a 30-minute version on our YouTubes and on our podcast if you want to dip a toe. But we started talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that is coming back and Real Housewives of New York.
New York was the one I watched, right?
Yes. Because I'm needing some shows. Right now I'm really into Summer House because that's all I got left.
And Summer House is when I've got that wrong because I thought that was a scripted show.
Summer House is a reality TV show about people who work in New York and like stay in the Hamptons.
Of course.
Usually they work all week and then we see their weekends in the Hamptons. But because of the pandemic, they just all stayed at the Hamptons. So you see them like working from home.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie, for the support. I'm so glad you liked it. It was quite I was going to say a debrief, a full breakdown.
A deep dive.
So as I was perusing people.com, I came across this story, which like, it just seems the most mysterious. And I was like, I need to bring this up. Jill Biden undergoes common medical procedure with Joe Biden at her side, then returns to White House.
So she got a sty removed, and Joe Biden sat there the whole time eating a lollipop.
They don't say what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It says a spokeswoman said the First Lady tolerated the procedure well, which is the grossest description of anything I've ever heard. And
you can't just keep calling it the procedure either.
Yeah, like common medical procedure. Yeah.
Take off her scales from her lizard body, right? Like
it's just like again, sorry to really be bound and down about it, but I'm really on a Danny McBride kick. But like he potentially gets interest from like the big leagues, and they're like, we got to ask you one question, and he goes, I'm not doing steroids, because he's for sure doing them. But it's like, were people wondering about Jill Biden and they had to mention it? Because I feel like saying, don't worry, Jill Biden has had a common medical procedure.
Yes.
It's like, wait,
again,
what?
This is like calling your elder parents and being like, hey, what's going on? You guys, I heard you were watching this new show on Netflix. So your mom, she's okay. She got her, it was just a common procedure. So she's fine. And yes, we are watching, we're going through Castle on Netflix right
exactly. Now. I remember calling my dad and he's like, oh, I just got out of surgery. I was like, for what? He's like, oh, my retina detached. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I got to lay down for 2 weeks. He had to just like lay on his stomach for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I think even more to the point, you could have gone home and seen him lying on the couch and be like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, I've been on the couch for a week and a half already. My retina fell out.
Oh, yeah. You're like, wait, what's...
We've talked since then. Yeah, I was here. I was on the couch.
I wouldn't be surprised if Castle is a great reference for a mom and dad show. Absolutely.
I have to like break honesty right now.
You watch it.
No. My parents, that's what they are going through right now. They're literally watching Castle.
That's really funny. Is it Nathan Fillion is in Castle?
I don't know.
My dad, every time I call my dad, it's always an Alaskan trucker show. Alaskan truckers,
Alaskan crab getters or whatever those guys are.
Crab getters. And you know what? I'm slowly turning into my dad because guess what I watched last night?
Alaskan truckers.
It's called like Car Masters, from rust to whatever. And they just fix cars up.
Sure.
And I was watching it.
In Alaska.
I mean, mine as well. Patrick. Oh, Patrick, host of Regular Pop. My mom watches the same episode of Castle each night to fall asleep, of course. But they took this like, they took an old Chevy like van and made it, and then put this like 1950s top on it, and then they took a Futura, which is like a once made car. Why should I know this? I shouldn't. And they rebuilt it for this 1950s roadshow. Now I know it's all scripted, but I was very upset because he's like, I built this car because it reminds me of my dad. And it's this huge storyline. He's like, I just wanted my shop to have an amazing truck to showcase the cars we're working on. And then he also fixes up this this guy just walks up and he's like, oh, I'm like, of course it's like Storage Wars, right? But I was so upset. And I was like, I'm turning into a mom with no kids. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it was too much. Oh, Voodoo Lion coming in. Thank you. We got to get Jason in on watching these shows. Because I just know that, Dorinda's gone. I don't know if you like New York. But anyways.
Dorinda's gone?
Oh, Jason, I can't. Like, you have to get better at this stuff.
No. There's other things to get better at. I got to get better at Real Housewives of New York. If Dorinda's gone, that show's dead to me. Yeah,
please. You have to finish the season before you can even have an opinion. But Jan's coming around. She says, Jason's shirt and tie combo is actually growing on me. Is it just me?
Cheers.
Anyways, this car show really got me. I'm going to watch it probably today over lunch. Maybe knock off 2 quick eps.
I love Megan's take on it. My dad loves the shows where men work harder than him.
Oh, yeah. My dad loves nothing more. Oh, this is a thing about parents. My dad had this snack that I grew up with thinking everyone did it. And now I know they don't, but it's still a really great snack.
I'm going to try it today.
Okay. It's barbecue chips.
Done.
Like if you can get spicy ones, like,
easy.
like good. Yep.
I'm in America.
Kettle cooked because they're more substantial.
Sure.
And cheddar cheese. So he would just take like a bunch of cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when someone's like, what are you eating? And it's a bowl of chips with cheese in it, they're like, wait, are you
I said,
okay?
oh, yeah, like I've done it. I haven't. I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's not crazy. That sounds all right.
But like he will be sitting there jamming on these BBQs with fromage and watching like Alaskan truckers. And I do believe he thinks he's there.
You know what you have to do is try this really quickly for your dad. Tell your dad to try this. Throw that in the oven for like a hot second. Not too long because you don't want to soggy those chips up, but like just melt that cheese a bit on there.
No, my dad has
He's got a toaster oven. The guy makes loaded rogues. He's got the time.
I just don't want you to insult my father. My dad
I'm not insulting him.
Is the pit crew master of a toaster oven. Okay?
Yeah.
He breaks them. He uses them. He has called me and been like, we went through the toaster.
You should fix them up and make a show about them.
No, he doesn't have time for that shit. My dad does my dad's able to get the cheese on toast, but you know how like when you do cheese on toast in the middle soggy because it's almost like raw? Not with my dad. And we're getting cracked pepper on top. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, dip it in hot sauce.
No problem. Hot sauce for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so my dad's really into those shows, but he will like jam on those. We were a big Storage Wars crew. Yeah.
And then like Jared, didn't he go to try to make a spin-off show or something with his wife?
Yeah, with his wife and yeah, we didn't want that.
And then he went to jail or something. I don't know. Allegedly, all this stuff.
I mean, allegedly, but I'm sure a lot of them went to jail. But Jan says, Stacey, your dad needs an air fryer. I've been telling him, my dad does not listen to me because I will call my dad. What does my dad love? He loves snacks and he loves comedy. So when I'm talking to him, I'm like, have you watched this stand-up special? Have you watched this one? He's not listening to me. He's also not listening to my air fryer recommendations.
No. He's like your dad's set. He's not an old dog can't teach new tricks, but he's like a set in his ways. He does what he likes.
Or as my dad says, he doesn't suffer duds, right? He's not suffering duds. He does not care. He's on his own journey.
I love it. I think that's great. Yeah. We can't not bring this up as well. You did send me a TikTok this morning. That was
Did you
amazing.
Did you put it on the thing?
No, I didn't put it up on the thing, which I should have done. Because so it's Chuck E. Cheese refiring all their, when I say refiring, that's how I think they word in the thing, but they're firing up their animatronic band that's been for 2 years shut down.
I really thought you might have brought it if you wanted to talk about it.
Well, I don't know. I didn't get to look at it until like I was with Charlie with breakfast, and you're like, "This is the scariest thing I've ever seen." So I couldn't watch it in front of Charlie because I'm like, "I'm going to put this on," and then.
Well, let's talk about what's happened. So Jason has, and I feel like everyone has this. Jason has officially joined my collection of people that I send TikToks to. Oh. Now I funnel my TikToks.
You send it to a collection of people. I gotcha.
No. Let me explain. It's almost like a multi-level marketing, right? So I know, like, so Jan, I send two little Sammys, like what I feel is like usually indicative of our friendship, where I'm like, this is, you got to check this out.
Yeah.
Okay. I send like pranks,
Sure.
spooky,
Anything we would show on this podcast.
and also like, could we show this?
Yeah.
It's always like some dad with his pants down on
Rusty
like a
loves
hoverboard.
beers. Rusty ranks beers.
I'm concerned about Rusty beyond reproach. I haven't seen.
Oh, he's going to be hilarious for 3 years and then he's going to be dead. Yeah.
We're loving what we're seeing. You know what's really funny is he knows what we enjoy now, and then he just gives us the business. It's like an old wrestler who's like
He's setting
drunken
himself
out.
up because he doesn't realize like we're going to love it more. And our the gratification he receives from the people, he's like, oh, I guess I'm doing the right thing. That's going to make his brain be like, this is what I have to do more of.
But you know when wrestlers are like wrestlers have a catchphrase like, oh, take him to town, you know?
Yeah.
So then you're like an old wrestler, you're retired,
Yeah.
you know, your body's different, and everyone's like, take him to town, Tank. And he's like, yeah, take him to town. Everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's only
That's gonna
3
be-
people in this line at like a
Yeah.
Comic-Con, and it's like there's
Yeah.
you're like
That's
yeah.
gonna be Rusty. We're loving what we're seeing. We're like, yeah.
Imagine that 10 years from now, like TikTok comic conventions where it's like all these people that were huge on TikTok are just there now being like signing their NFTs or something somehow. Being like, got this. I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, I am like, yeah, I think about that. Yeah, where it's like how your career goes.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? Did you see something in the chat?
No, I just think that
Alex, off topic. How are we 13 months into this pandemic and Stacey's hair looks this good?
Mm-hmm.
Lies me on lies. I'll let it all land. Thank you. Yeah.
How are we 13 months in? Fucked up. Although, like,
Not great.
not great.
Oh, can I tell you this? So I had to go get a COVID test for this thing on the weekend, and I haven't.
I'm not the only one with secrets.
Legal secrets. But I haven't been, like, I haven't left my house. So I've only seen a few people. Okay. So I know a lot of people have had a million COVID tests. I'm not one of those people. Like, I get it. Very privileged in that way. But like, went to go get the test, and this poor nurse had no chance in hell to prepare for the energy.
Can I just say, I thought you said porn nurse at first. And I was like,
I wish that would have been thrilling.
I'm here to stick this up your nose.
And I'm like, ooh, okay, let's order pizza first. But this poor nurse, like, I came in like a house on fire.
Of course.
Like a freight train going a mile a minute.
Any doctor hates me, for sure, for the same reason.
Because we're nervous. Because when we're nervous, we just push through in a manic state.
Take me on a plane ride, you'll see.
Oh, I have, where I go, can you shut the fuck up?
That's hilarious. We should do shut the fuck up characters, right? Are we dying? Is the plane shaking?
But people think maybe we're doing a bit. That is Jason on a plane, and it's fucking crazy. It's like, just get drunk before. We'll get you on the plane. Calm down.
I did that once. I flew to Japan, and it was like, it's like a crazy, like 20-hour flight. And I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? And I just drank a bottle of wine beforehand.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
well, let
fine.
me tell you, there was no option for me to drink wine. I came in, okay,
Yeah.
sat down. The woman was like, Stacey, and I, like, again, I haven't been outside
In the
like,
presence of other humans.
I've gone to the grocery store. I'm in a very, very small bubble. Like, so to see a new person that I have to interact with was wild. So she is getting me at my and I've never had a COVID test, so I'm just kind of like, oh God. So she's like, have you had one before? And I go, no. Oh my God, that's so bad, right? I'm like, I'm embarrassed. She was
I'm a
just like,
virgin to fucking COVID tests over here. Is this going to hurt a bit? Oh my God. I got to tell my friends. Oh my God. Hold on a second. I got to call Cindy. Cindy, you won't believe what's happening right now. I'm getting a COVID test.
there was a lot of things happening. One of them was a big sign that said, do not put personal belongings on the table. What did I have to take off the table? My cell phone and my glasses. Okay. I was instantly not
And your
aware.
carry-on luggage that was sitting there for some reason.
So it says, do not put personal belongings on the table. Instead of me just like taking them down, I was like, oh my gosh, didn't even see this. What a day. The most. This woman does not care.
What type of COVID test did you get in the end?
So we got we got a choice, which I didn't understand. So you
Do the
either get the
swab in the
tickle
mouth.
or in the brain.
So when you say that, then it's a very easy choice, right?
Well, it says in the description, most people prefer the tickle. So I was like, tickle, please.
So there's two ways we can test for gonorrhea. We can just do a swab of the inside of your mouth, or I can stick this umbrella up your urethra, pull it, and then scrape it out. What do you want to do? Oh, tough choice.
Patrick says, we love exploding purse energy at a COVID test. It was literally so disrespectful. She was like, and then she goes, can you blow your nose for me, please? Okay. I have to, of course, do a quick tight 5 stand up about how I can't blow my nose. She's just staring at me blankly.
I kind of want to hear this tight 5 though. Maybe this is a Patreon event. I kind of want the tight 5 about how you can't why can't you blow your nose?
Because I have a terribly deviated septum, like half, like my one side here is completely collapsed. So like as a kid, like when I would have sinus infections or whatever, I could never blow my nose. Like I would be blowing and nothing would ever come out. So I really don't know how to blow my nose, which is embarrassing. So
when she did that, what did you do? Like put an umbrella up your nose and scrape it out?
Well, no, but I love rules, right? So I wanted her to know that I was trying really hard. Like literally need a therapy session after this because I was like, look at me being a good girl. But I was like, I go, okay. I go, look, can I tell you something? I go, I'm going to blow it. I've never been able to successfully blow my nose. She was like, yeah, whatever. Like she was like, I'm a nurse.
You can blow your fucking nose.
Yeah, just like I don't need your life story. So then she does the little tickle and my eyes were watering, quelle no surprise. And then I go, what a feeling. I mean, I'm very lucky that it was just that one. I go on this huge speech. She goes, you're done. And I go, well, you have yourself a nice day.
I see they're throwing the red light on in the back. Oh, I'll see you all next week. I'll be down
Jason,
the street.
I go, so very loudly. And again, it's an echoey warehouse place. It's like, you have a nice day. Then I leave. And come back and go, I've lost my glasses. I can't find my glasses anywhere. She goes, they're on your face. I go, well.
See you later. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How do my ears feel if I can't blow my nose? Upset. I'll tell you that.
I don't understand how. I guess they're connected, obviously.
Well, if they get plugged, yeah. I will tell you, if you've ever wanted to, any sort of like lover, you want me to cuddle you, you're going to get mouth breathing. Because my nose is truly useless to me.
And by the way, Stacey's the big spoon. So you're going to get heavy breathing in the back of the ear.
I once dated someone who was like, can you just not breathe on my body? It was a really hard pill to swallow because they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
Heavy kissing session. She keeps coming up like, oh okay. Goes right back in.
I cannot breathe through my nose. And I remember when my brothers or my parents were trying to teach me how to swim. And I was like, I can't breathe underwater. And they're like, no one can. But I always struggled with going under the water.
No fair, because I can't breathe through my nose. Nobody can breathe out of any holes underwater. It doesn't make a difference. Does it?
Yeah. I'm just such a mess. I felt really like I just felt so bad for that nurse because I was such a piece of shit. Like I was such an energy. And I know what I'm like when I walk into a room. And especially if I'm nervous in that room, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and I'm the same with everything. I mean, I had good conversations with the we had to go get our shots, which was awesome. But like,
Yeah.
it's awesome because it's been a year and you're like, I'm getting vaccinated.
I know.
So like, you're already on a high, and then you walk into this place that's like, it's almost post-apocalyptic because you're in like a set up makeshift community center, and they're like,
Right.
great, come on over here. And this person that's probably never given a needle before is giving you a needle, and you're just like, oh, okay, great, this is gonna hurt. Oh, I know, I'm just kidding. I've taken needles before, but I give you one. Okay, there, I don't know what's happening anymore. But that's where
The small talk when someone's not down for exploding purse energy, is like, I know, and I think about, I think we all daydream about the day we're vaccinated. In Canada, will it ever happen? Most likely not. But I can just see myself getting vaccinated and being like, ouchie, mama, ouch, ouch. Like, do you want this or not? Right? Yeah. Megan says, oh, I'm like that when I'm nervous. You should have seen me in labor. I was too much. Okay, Megan, truly, you are my friend, because this is all I think about is like, during labor, how will I navigate the social aspects in the room?
I'm in a sense different, but similar. If I was a woman, I think I would have, from the age of 8 on, been just worried about pregnancy. I would have been like, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Oh God, it's coming and it's going to hurt. I'd be thinking that my whole life.
And it's amazing that you had a son and you only had to imagine thinking about it.
It's true. I was in the room. Ready to take my shirt off. And they're like,
what makes me laugh so much when friends of mine that have had babies are like, oh my God, it was great. But poor Craig had to sleep on that cot. Oh, did he?
I just realized poor Craig in the cot. I was in the room. No, obviously, like, didn't do a damn thing.
Did you have to sleep on the cot, Craig? And that was my back. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
I had a C-section.
And I asked if they got my placenta.
That would have been fun. If I was a doctor, I would have been like, oh no, we've sewn her back up. Did you? Oh no. And my watch. Oh,
here's what it is. Cause like, I'm always worried, like, the anesthesiologist, Megan says, I told him he was good looking. This would be my vibe, right? Like, the needle's going right in your back. It's so painful. I'm trying to pretend I'm being cool about it. So I'd be like, hey, what's your situation? Like, are we married? Are we loving? Are we living?
Plus, they've given you the gas. So it means, I don't know if you've ever been through a surgery, but like, it's a happy drunk. So like, you're just no filter. And your brain's not really working the way it would normally anyway. So you'd probably just say the worst. For sure, you're going to hit on the anesthesiologist.
It would be, and I would be like, because you know how nurses are stern sometimes. Like, I've had friends who have had babies, and the nurses were like not the nicest. Some have had great ones, but if I was like half cut pushing out a baby and I was getting some attitude. We're all trying to have a good time, Cheryl. And you're freaking coming and yelling at me. This is my party.
Ow!
Honestly, I think about women who are like natural births and like, and then you see like on YouTube, because I'm 35, so my algorithm is like, you having a baby, bitch? That's all of it. And some women are like, I didn't have a natural birth and now I wish. And I don't judge anybody. Nope. You do what you want to do.
It ain't
For
change
me,
the kid, man.
Knock me out. I'll get to know him later.
They have all this thing that's like, well, then my baby won't go through X, Y, and Z, and they won't. It's like, yeah, man, there's a lot of life to change people around and do a whole bunch of different things. I don't feel like, if you're at your therapist's office and being like, I think that I was drugged while I was coming out of the womb, like, fucking, you're already done. You're crazy.
First of all, anyone who tells you that they have a memory from when they were 2, no thanks. I remember Christmas when I was 2.
They saw a picture once, and then their memories of that picture.
No, you don't have a memory. Or like, anyways, I can't. When I was 5, no. Jenny says, it's like going through customs. I get nervous for no reason and just start trying to be too cool, which ends up in me cracking jokes that do not land. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Jan, who just had dental surgery, says, when I got a graft in my mouth, I asked the surgeon, what if my gums were murderer's gums? And then I did murders. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Can we just check? Oh, Oh, okay. We know who the donor is.
The worst was I remember I had to go to the doctor because I had like a rash that was like growing over my body. Not to sound so hot, a mouth breather with a body rash. Hello. And the doctor was asking me a lot of questions, and I realized that my doctor was wearing like one of those like metal bracelets that's like,
I'm allergic to penicillin.
no. It's like one of those like it cures you. It like centers your ions or
Oh, the
whatever.
copper bracelets.
And I was like, and he was like, "What?" He just caught me staring, and I was like, "What?"
Does those
this?
work? You're-
And he was like, "Oh," and I was like,
It's the copper. It goes in. It helps with my arthritis and my joint pain. It's weird. I put it on this wrist, but it helps the wrist over here. But I'm a doctor, so
"Yeah." I remember being like,
I'm not gonna lie. I
tell
bought
you."
one once.
Of course you did.
I don't know
I
if I
would
ever
too.
wore it. I have arthritis and I have bad joints, so I was like, sometimes it's very painful. You're like, what do I do? And then people are like, try this copper bracelet. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm
Listen,
at
we've all
Shoppers.
tried
They're
worse.
$10. Fucking all right, $10, great.
Oh my
And then
God.
it didn't work.
Buying that at Shoppers. Thank God for self-checkouts. Like, I think about Gen Zs, like, who like have the beautiful isolation of a self-checkout. Like, do you remember like buying condoms when like it was embarrassing, or like preparation H, or like plan B? Like now like the times I've gotten plan B, it's just like now I just go, well, I have to double down. They're getting full
That's
exploding
what I
purse
did even
energy.
back in the day, and I would walk and be like, you got a fitting room? Where's your fitting rooms for these? Thinking it's funny, not funny. All your friends go, you're a fucking idiot, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, I remember one
None of them
time
just,
like
really nervous.
yeah, like now you can just kind of go to self-checkout and you don't really have to worry about that. Instead, you're buying like condoms, orange juice, and like, a GQ magazine. It's like, what are you doing?
You guys, do you guys sell ball gags? You guys sell ball gags? I just can't
Yeah.
find them. Anyways.
Well, that was the
self-checkout,
worst
thank
one,
God.
or that was like the funny thing about living above that BDSM sex shop,
Oh, that's
because
right.
I would always be like, "Hey, did you guys get my vacuum? You guys okay in here? What's going on?" Just selling like full leather daddy get-ups and like, anal plug starter kits.
Yeah, but then like your family comes to visit you, but then you're like, you guys were supposed to be here like 10 minutes ago. You go downstairs, your dad's in that shop just looking around. Yeah, just checking it out. Just
When
checking
my
it out.
dad, this is why my dad's so cool. When he was moving me in, he saw this like butt plug starter kit where it's like you start small and then like, hey, your butthole could be this big, and he was just like, look at that, that's great. So I was like, okay, this like old farmer man, but true.
You start small and you work it up to it. That makes sense. Makes sense.
I remember buying pregnancy tests as if anyone, like, also the narrative in our minds of like what people are thinking. Like, I never really clocked what people were buying, but I would have loved like a self-checkout moment with that.
Yeah, I don't ever know if I've noticed somebody buy something. I'm like, ooh, really? Ooh.
Oh, I do all the
Bad.
time. This is because I'm a psychopath. Like,
No, I don't.
the other day I bought batteries, cans of tuna, and like a single Pepsi or something. I was like,
This sounds like you're trying to do a science experiment for TikTok. It's like, what happens when you put the batteries on the metal can and then you open the Pepsi, throw in a Mentos? Let's see what happens.
it's freaking Mythbusters. What's the most embarrassing thing that you buy that you wish was a self-checkout? Like that in your mind, like the worst. Do you remember like the most embarrassing exchange?
No, I wish I had a quick answer for you.
I
but-
remember a friend in university had a pack of condoms that they bought. And then they opened them to realize that they were flavored condoms. Okay. And so they didn't want those ones. So they tried to
Trying to return them. That's ridiculous.
I came with them because I was like, for sure, this will not be a problem. And I've never.
I could imagine that. It's just, I need to return it. It's just, I mean, how do you know? You don't have a fitting room. It says medium size. Like
Flavored
It's not very
condoms were
effective. It
all
just
the
falls
rage. When I was an RA, we gave out flavored condoms all the time.
Why? My dick can't taste it. Never mind. I'm out.
Ew, gross. But I just think about all the flavors. Like, ooh, have you tried like the Durex pina colada? Oh my god, what a treat! Shayla says, one time I bought a box of tampons and a shit ton of chocolate. And I was like, it's not all for me. Back when buying tampons was embarrassing. Totally get this.
I like that that's the past tense. That's great for you, Shayla, because that's great that we're.
Oh, yeah.
It's normalizing. Great.
Got
Good.
you. Jenny says, Stacey, you have such an RA energy about you. Oh, my God. Absolutely.
I would not want to be on your floor.
Can I tell you something? That's what a lot of people say.
Of course not.
But here's the thing about me. I don't like doing work. So I never got people officially in trouble. I would just be like, can you shut the fuck up? And then I would never write any reports. No one ever got in trouble. We had to plan like events. And so I had a floor meeting and I was like, do we want events or do you want me to just take this cash and buy like a shit ton of food and like throw on a movie? And everyone was like, buy cool food.
I don't want to be on that floor.
You wouldn't want to be on that floor?
No, I'm on the floor that nobody else wants to be on. I'm like, let's fucking party.
That was me.
Nobody's buying food and watching a movie is not. That's a different.
No, but
type
we
of
had
party.
to have events so people could bring their cups and their own drinks.
My event's going to be like, great. What are we doing here? What's the theme? What are we fucking rocking out here, guys? It was fucking college. It's like, yeah. What are we? Great.
Yeah,
we'll start.
But
with
you
like,
can't party like. You can't like party down in a like a dorm.
Yeah, you can.
No,
that's
it's
where
not.
you party. I've done it. I literally did it for years.
Yeah, probably illegally, but I'm saying that like dorm parties when you're an RA, it's like it's like having a theme party in your cafeteria at high school. Like it's just lame.
No, man, not if you set it up good.
So we would get, whatever. You'd be the lamest. We'd all be like, Jason would be like, no one came to the foam party. And I'm like, everyone's up here eating Chinese food and just like partying.
I'm not the one that set them up. I was a part of the thing. I didn't even live on the floor, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that tracks. We had a lot of people like you that came in.
Well, my friend Harris did. And he's like, come on over. We're having a party. I'm like, hell yeah, man. It's fucking pancake. It's a Bermuda Shorts Day. Let's fucking go. Bermuda Shorts Day was huge.
So I would be in these meetings where everyone's like, well, we had Bermuda Shorts Day and it was a huge success. And again, I was just basically had a cigarette and I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Stacey, what'd you do? We ordered so much Chinese food. We watched Felicity. And then everyone got takeout.
No, Bermuda Shorts Day was amazing. I'll tell you a very brief story of it. So like I had a roommate that time. He's still a great friend.
Let me set this up.
Yeah, let's set it
Tell
up.
us about Bermuda Shorts Day.
So Bermuda Shorts Day doesn't mean like it's all about the Bermuda shorts. It's a vibe, obviously, because like Bermuda shorts only brings in like carefree, let's have fun, let's have a party of a day. It starts, the alarm goes off, I believe it was like 7 a.m. And then you go outside and there's all pancakes being served. And you're like, great, day starts, let's start getting drinks. And I took my friend Yoshi, who I lived with at the time, who at the time I had just met and didn't speak much English. Mm-hmm. So we went out and partied and we put on a fake tattoo on his arm. We drew this big thing, and then we were partying. I think it hit around early afternoon, and by that time, this is like hundreds of people, by the way, hundreds of people having a great time because Bermuda Shorts is all about just having it's kind of like Margaritaville, I guess. And what's happening is I've lost Yoshi at this university that he doesn't speak English, and he's my new roommate, and we're like, pretty good friends. Anyways, someone eventually came up to me later and was like, there's this Japanese guy running around just yelling swear words and we think he knows you. And I was like, of course. And we found him. And because all we've done at that point is teach him probably terrible sayings. So he's running around being like, and he loved it. He had the greatest time of his life. So here's to Yoshi and here's to Bermuda Shorts Day, University of Calgary. Have a good time.
That was amazing. That was really great.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. That was a great little story. Where was...
There wasn't a lot to it, but like, it's better than like getting Chinese food and watching The Crow.
Okay, I agree, but we didn't watch The Crow.
Nothing wrong with The Crow.
Okay, here's the thing. If you're listening to this, and obviously the live pals in the chat, would you rather go to full Chinese buffet food and like movies and like just super chill and it's not a forced event, you can do whatever you want, or do you want to go to a Bermuda Shorts Day, which you just have to bring a vibe. You just have to bring a vibe.
This is such an unfair sell. You want to go to a place where you don't have to go to if you don't want to, but like it's nice, chill, and like everybody likes
Yeah.
back, and we're having a good time.
It was the best.
Great, but then if you chose that one, you chose it because you don't have to go. Like that's crazy. That means like that's not you're choosing the event. You're choosing I'm going to go live my life. And of course,
they were always packed. They were always such a successful thing.
thanks, Megan.
Megan gets it. That's like when people would be like, oh, we did one time when I was in RA, we did Pi Day, and at like 3:14 or whatever, whatever the pi number is, like we woke everyone up and we were like, pie day. We just had like tables full of pie.
That's great. They all should have been like, actually, I'm not going to make that math joke because I don't know it enough. But great.
Bermuda Short Stay, says Jan, feels like a guy is wearing a robe and just says, the dude abides. Of course.
Oh, there was at least one person doing that. At the least.
This is what would happen. I can just see a bunch of my friends and I being like, are you going to Bermuda Short Stay? And being like, Jeff's going. Like, he's excited. And we'd be like, well, we have to go see Jeff.
Here's the one thing that is different about Bermuda Short Stay. Because you said it's a movie thing. You come if you want. You do what you want. Like, you live your life and it doesn't bother anyone else. Bermuda Short Stay on this campus, you don't have a choice. Because,
I want to explain
alarm
something.
goes off at 7 a.m. and, like,
Can I
there's no way
explain
you're
something
just
here?
staying in your bed. It's impossible.
No, so when I talk about like RA events, like we weren't out on the campus doing events. Like this was like on your floor. So our floors were split up. So me and a different RA would split one massive floor. And also it was super gendered. So it was like all the girls were on my, like I had the girl side and the other guy had the guy side or whatever, which is so stupid. But so we would have to do events like in our small shitty common area. It wasn't like you go to the quad and like you're hanging out and it's just like we had those bigger events, but we weren't in charge of those. Does that make sense? These were like quiet,
makes sense,
like
yeah.
they were like quiet community
I believe
building.
on Bermuda Short Stay, I'm just making these up now, but like I thought that every floor had to do their own thing too, or whatever. Like,
But that
could be wrong. I mean, I didn't even go to the school. I was just there through Harris, my friend Harris. Who's
I think quad events,
Harris.
like events where you could leave and like do fun things would have been awesome. But we were contained to these like corporate, small communal areas.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are we
all?
all going to sit around and make lip balm, which is an event I said I was doing all the time and I never was. I was just doing a bunch of food.
That's great. I mean, like, I don't mind food. I love, like, you know what? I want to be on a dorm floor where both things exist.
I think if you and I were on a dorm floor, it would be the perfect floor.
It'd be a yin and a yang, and then you'd get the party, but you'd also get those chill days where it's like we're gonna watch a movie and order the best fucking food. And you know what? Those days would be good.
Yeah, I mean, we had some times that there was a massive fire. There was an arsonist there who tried to burn the whole thing down. I also, could you imagine me showing up at your door like 3:30 in the morning going, I have a monologue due tomorrow from 12th night.
Let's hear it. Guys, you guys don't want to hear Stacey's monologue? Let's fucking do it.
There were some floors like that. There were some like rooms like that where they were just cool and they'd be like, come on. I was like, all right, you guys aren't that bad.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
it. Okay, now get out. Get out. Yay.
Bye, Megan. Megan is out. Stephanie goes, can we do a lip balm making night at the regulars retreat? Let me tell you, we're really building up this regulars retreat.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna go big. Before we leave today, I do want to mention this too, because you did send me that TikTok about Chuck E. Cheese. And what it reminded me of is also this week, we were talking to another friend. And for some reason, Charlie, we threw Charlie's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese last year before the pandemic. And the lady we're talking about is like, lots of fights happen at Chuck E. Cheese. And we're like, what are you talking about? And then she sent me this YouTube clip the next day that is just like, apparently it is very common for like parents in these high stress situations to just fight each other brutally.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's tons of clips in Chuck E. Cheese where parties collide and
sure.
it's like West Side Story and
Oh, yeah.
mothers beat the living crap out of each other at a Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm not surprised.
I was blown away. I'm like, this is...
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand because, again, like I come from conflict. So like for me, like any sort of birthday or special occasion, like we are absolutely fighting in the parking lot. Someone is.
But that doesn't have to, I can see it getting heated because you're all like, oh, this party paid a bit more for this special cake and for Chuck E. Cheese to come by, and then you're sitting right beside this table, and it's like this elitism thing, or like they get too much time on this. Your little kid isn't giving my time on this arcade.
Yeah.
So I could see heated events, but not to the point of like this one lady's carrying her baby and throwing punches with the other hand. I'm like, this is.
I'm not saying it's
terrible.
right. I'm just saying I'm not surprised.
I was.
Well, you're a tender-hearted man.
Yeah. Anyways, I beat the crap out of a mom when I was at Charlie's birthday party.
Jason, Jesus Christ. Okay. Great way to end it. I beat I love that you could have chosen dad. You could have chosen
I knew that in my
cousin.
head. And then I was like, how do I make this work?
Did you just crack a LaCroix?
No.
Yes, you did.
I didn't crack a LaCroix. The tab came off the top of it. It's done. It's all done now.
It's not done. There was a sip left, and nothing beats that little sound at the bottom of a can.
Disgusting.
Well, friends, we are done for the day. Jason will be joined by the lovely two little Sammys on Friday, which is super exciting.
Because Stacy's got a secret.
I don't have a secret. I'm shooting something. When they can say I can say it, then I will. But it's a thing.
You can't say it yet.
Yeah. So I will be gone this weekend doing that, but I'll be back on Monday. But you are in great hands with Miss Jen Caruana.
Yeah.
So she'll be here. So have the best casual Friday. If you haven't checked out our Patreon regular pop episode, please do. The short version is available, or the edited version down, as well as the full hour half plus, where we really do a massive deep dive on all those different topics. If you have more pop culture topics, send it our way. And if you haven't checked out the Patreon calendar yet, please do, because we have Trash Movie Night coming up on Tuesday.
The 20th.
And we have a comedy night on the 30th, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be really, really fun. So,
fun.
Yeah. So have the best week, and I will see you on Monday. And Jason will be seeing you on Friday. Is there anything you want to say, Jay?
I can't wait for Friday. Hi, Jan.
Hi, Jan. Have a great day. Bye, friends.
Bye, everyone.